as he looks towards Survivor Series and his gravest challenge, The Undertaker.
And the most important thing this evening, you're going to be seeing McMahon, myself, Bobby the Brain Heenan, Mr. Perfect, and the real world champion, Ric Flair.
Get set for the Survivor Series showdown.
Hello everyone, I'm Vince McMahon, along with Bobby the Brain Heenan. And we're just days away to the Survivor Series, the pay-per-view spectacular that'll be headed your way Thanksgiving Eve this Wednesday night. And in a little while, you're going to be hearing from myself, Mr. Perfect, and the real world champion, Ric Flair.
You said that earlier on.
I can say whatever I want. It's my show. But now, ladies and gentlemen, the Survivor Series showdown, unfortunately, in the shadow of a tragic event that occurred earlier this weekend. Randy Savage was bitten by a venomous king cobra. And from there...
but what's more important is Ted DiBiase tonight
There's nothing more important than that.
To who? To DiBiase this is. He gets a chance to regain his belt from the thief that took it, Virgil, the $1 million belt.
We'll later on show you that heinous footage of Randy Savage being struck by the king cobra. But right now...
Another important thing, the Big Boss Man will be wrestling Earthquake.
Let's get to action.
Let's do something.
Bobby Heenan, I believe you're one of the most insensitive individuals I have ever met. Me? Talking to me? I'm talking to you. I don't understand why. Very sensitive. Randy Savage was bitten by a venomous king cobra. You have no compassion?
Well, and he's sitting in his position and not trying to get involved in something that was none of his business, he'd still be all right.
We'll have more on that as we stated at the top of the hour. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, the Earthquake, who will be teaming up with the likes of Jake the Snake Roberts, IRS, and of course, Typhoon, all four of those individuals comprising one team at the Survivor Series.
IRS has told me, McMahon, that this guy is on the take more than anybody he's ever seen or ever heard of.
Right now, he's on the take, all right, the take from the Earthquake, who's really giving him a go. Series of elbows to the small of the back. Earthquake now, big, massive individual, whipping the boss man to the buckle. Not wasting any time at all, going to work on the boss man. Both individuals very accustomed to individual competition, but how will they fare in the tag team, the elimination at the Survivor Series?
Well, I think the Big Boss Man plans on hiding behind Legion of Doom so IRS don't get his hands on him.
Well, now you mentioned Boss Man and his partners, the Legion of Doom. Who will be teaming up with them? Surely Jeff Tunney will not allow the three of them, Boss Man and LOD, to have to face the four, Jake the Snake, the Natural Disasters collectively in IRS. I don't believe he would allow that inequity.
Well, you know the way LOD thinks. They take on 6 guys by themselves. They don't care.
Not when it involves the Natural Disasters.
Well, that's what I think.
If ever they met their match in tag team competition, it would have to be the Natural Disasters.
You see, LOD,
Look at that, he misses.
their game plan is to pick people up, heave them around, intimidate people. You're not going to pick up the Natural Disasters and throw them around like a bunch of cabbage patch.
Oh, no, watch this. The Boss Man. A hard right. Boss Man, uppercut. Look at that. Oh, my feet. Mixing it up. Maybe that forearm right to the man. Oh, a kick to the jaw. Earthquake is still up. Finally, crashing down.
Yeah, but you're not going to pick Earthquake up over your head and press slam him like LOD likes to do to people.
Definitely not. No way you're going to do that. Jimmy Hart hoping that the Natural Disasters will once again take him into the tag team championship all the way to the top. What has the Nasty Boys done?
He's done it before. He's managed a lot of
Jimmy, look out! Look out, Jimmy!
They'll never catch him.
Boss Man right back in, catching the Earthquake. Headbutt by the Boss Man. Oh, my goodness.
Great wrestling. Great wrestling.
Now, wait a minute. It's not great wrestling. I'm not pretending that it is. But if you're in there against the Earthquake, you better pull out all the stops. Because if you don't, he's going to.
Well, then you agree with what happened with Jake the Snake Roberts and Savage.
No, that's not pulling out all the stops.
I would say.
I really have my doubts as to whether or not that was a legitimate accident. According to Jake the Snake, it was an accident. The King Cobra was to have been devenomized. It was an accident as it relates to the lap. I don't believe that.
You know, as a broadcast journalist, I asked him, and he told me it was an accident. He said, trust me.
Yeah, and you did.
Well, I take the man's word for it. Who am I to call someone a liar?
That's a good point. It's a very good point. Boss man, big. Oh, they're trading blows here. There's a possibility the Macho Man will be reinstated. There's a possibility he'll be back in action, and it just might be this coming Wednesday night in the Survivor Series. Oh, look at this.
Come on, ref, on time.
The Boss Man. Oh, nice step across the face. Jimmy Hart beside himself.
That's his specialty. When a guy's incarcerated, he likes to slap him around. But one-on-one, he's nothing but a meter maid from Cobb County.
Well, wait a minute. Who's up? It's coming down the ringside. Boss Man has his eyes on him. What's going to happen? We'll be back as we continue with more Survivor Series Showdown. We're back with more Survivor Series Showdown. Boss Man, you can see Jimmy Hart helping the Earthquake, unleashing it from behind on the Earthquake attacking. Boss Man himself now hugging the rope. Come on, man.
He has a semi-handcuff on there, huh? He's all tied up.
Oh, come on, Red. IRS has no business being at ringside. None whatsoever.
Isn't he partners at one of the natural disasters at Survivor Series?
Yes, but he shouldn't be at ringside.
When you're IRS, you can do whatever you want. Don't you know that?
Look at that, standing right up on the finger.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. That's the hand he takes bribes with.
Oh, no.
That's the hand he puts out to take bribes with. Don't do that.
Beautiful! Beautiful! Look at you now, Boss Man! He's nothing on us! Look at him, baby!
Count him, Jimmy.
Look at him, all right!
Earthquake and Typhoon, the natural disasters, teaming up with Jake the Snake Roberts and IRS to be opposed by the Boss Man and his team. The Legion of Doom and perhaps one other individual to join them. Originally, of course, you will recall, it was none other than Sid Justice. Mr. Justice, unfortunately, injured. And now, it was to have been perhaps Randy Savage, if in fact he can be reinstated. And if in fact he is physically capable, which we're told he will be by this Wednesday. Oh, nice maneuver.
Who really cares if Savage is reinstated?
Who cares? Yeah, everybody cares. Boss Man is taking care of business, and Randy Savage cares if no one else does, but there are a lot of people out there who do. And for the benefit of those of you who do feel strongly, who do care one way or the other, we have a special vote line set up. Jack Tunney will have the results tomorrow morning. Randy Savage is on a campaign to be reinstated. And I'll tell you what, he has my vote.
Well, I'll tell you, if Jack Tunney wants to reinstate him, and he shows up at Survivor Series, I don't know what would happen with Jake the Snake Roberts and him.
Boss Man out to right. Oh, no. That was to have been a clothesline. Earthquake ducking underneath. Boss Man to the outside. Erwin Arnshyster, IRS.
Minding his own business.
At the moment, he may be one of the team members of the Earthquake, Typhoon, and Jake the Snake.
Come on, Hick. Get in the ring.
What do you mean, Hick?
Oh, he's a Hick, you know.
Earthquake?
Not an Earthquake.
Oh, no.
The Boss Man.
Well, I know one thing. He has unquestionably law and order here in the WWF. Oh, no.
Yeah, Captain Graff Captain Graff, the guy will take a payoff from anybody. He's on the tape. He was a meter maid, you know, in Cobb County.
He was not.
I used to call him Barney down there.
Barney?
Yeah, like Barney Fife.
Earthquake winding up the Big Boss Man. This has developed into quite an encounter. You wonder what will happen when the team members get together this Wednesday night at the Survivor Series. Earthquake really working on the arm.
I'll tell you something.
Look at that.
There'll be more hits in Joe Louis Arena this Wednesday night than Motown ever had.
Boss Man having his problems now with that left arm. Oh, nice. Nice. Again. Elbow striking the bottom of the jaw. A series ended. Earthquake back to the car. Boss Man back to the midsection. And again.
Come on, Earthquake, take over on him. I'll let him do that to you. You're bigger than him.
And the big ball. Reversal now. Earthquake turning the tide again.
Working on that bad wrist.
These two may not be in very good shape come this Wednesday night at the Survivor Series. They're taking an awful lot out of each other in this individual competition.
Hear the people chanting, Irwin, Irwin, they love him.
They love him? I don't believe so. Look at this maneuver. Oh, back to the head. What a tremendous maneuver on the part of the Boss Man. Earthquake gets out. He's out cold. Covering. Cover that man. Get on it. Cover. One.
He can't.
2, 3. He got it.
No. He got that shoulder up. He can't hold him.
IRS. Would you hear the Boss Man at the Earthquake right where it hurts him? IRS.
Did you see that? IRS kicked it. IRS protected himself. The Boss Man kicked at him.
Earthquake should be disqualified right now because of outside interference.
Well,
He should be disqualified.
No. The Boss Man went out after him.
Boss Man back in the ring. Earthquake wobbling now. Oh, yes. Clothesline. Now get down. Go for it. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no.
The Boss Man's in trouble now.
Yes, he is. Coming down the ringside as well. Tom Ford, Jake the Snake. Boss Man with his Billy Club in here. Here we go.
It's going to happen right here, McMahon.
We're going to have Survivor Series right now.
It's going to happen right here. Sure, there's the Boss Man. Once again, hiding behind LOD.
There's no question who the winner is here. It's the Big Boss Man. The only question will be, who will be the winner at Survivor Series? All right, now let's take you back to the funeral parlor that occurred last week with the Hulkster. Ric Flair getting a bird's eye view of Hulk Hogan. Hogan reaching for the standing casket as Flair now confronting Hulk Hogan.
Come on over here. You know how long I've been waiting for this very moment, big man, huh? You know how long the real world champion has heard the name Hulk Hogan? You know how long I've had to listen to you talk about the 24-inch pythons, big man. Well, don't be ashamed of those butterflies you got rumbling in that stomach right now. Because, big man, I just burst that bubble you've been living in, and I'm here on your doorstep with the real World Championship belt. Compare the two. In closing, what are you gonna do, Hulk Hogan, when Ric Flair runs wild on you? Let me tell you, to put that so-called real world Hogan. You will find out, Ric Flair. Not only will the thousands of little Hulksters out there be at your beckoning call, but Hulk Hogan will be right there, ready for you.
Undertaker hammering Hulk Hogan from behind with the urn, coming out of the coffin. Look at that. They're all over him. Flair, Undertaker, all over Hulk Hogan, trying to choke the life out of him. Undertaker, there with Ric Flair. That's it. Let's go. Roddy Piper and Randy Savage leaving the broadcast booth. Look out. Flair now by Piper. Brought that charge. Undertaker standing over the body of Hulk Hogan. Look at that. Undertaker not even flinching. What's he doing? Reaching down. Boom. Undertaker standing over Hulk Hogan. Get him out of there, we're gonna kill him. Ric Flair, The Undertaker. And unquestionably will be perhaps the darkest day in the history of Hulkamania. It unquestionably will be Hulk Hogan's grievous challenge at the Survivor Series. We're back and Luke is in the ring. Well, your reaction, Bobby Heenan, to last week's funeral parlor.
Well, they could have finished Hulk Hogan off, but they're saving him for the gravest challenge. That's this Wednesday night. The Undertaker could have taken him out right there, so could have Ric Flair. I'm telling you, this Wednesday night, Hulkamania gets buried, flowers put down, tombstone up, it's over.
What's that smell?
Sardines.
Certainly is. Well, look at the Beverly Brothers. I don't know about those guys.
What do you mean you don't know about them?
I don't know about them.
I know a lot about them.
What do you know about the Beverly Brothers?
Classy individuals.
You know, the Beverly Brothers are teaming up with the Nasty Boys at Survivor Series, and they're meeting the Bushwhackers and the Rockers on the opposite side. That much we know.
Well, who's going to do the thinking for that team with the Bushwhackers and Laverne and Shirley?
What I told you, you don't have a chance.
Talk to him, Blake.
I don't know who will do the thinking on the other side with the Nasty Boys and the Beverlys. Will it be Jimmy Hart? Will it be the Genius? Take a little bite out of the rump. It's going to be a rump roast for Thanksgiving dinner. Luke, yes! Oh, get out of the Yes, sir! One thing about the Bushwhackers is it's tough to hurt them because they don't feel much.
Well, no sense, no feeling. You know that, McMahon. And it's hard to prepare for a match with them. Because usually you know if a guy's going to arm drag you, hip lock you, you know what their forte is. With the Bushwhackers, they don't know what they're going to do. How can you know what they're going to do?
The Bushwhackers and the Rockers against the Nasty Boys and the Beverly this Wednesday night on pay-per-view, the Survivor Series. And by the way, we mentioned earlier on about we were going to show you the footage in which let's stay with this.
Yes. No, that's not right. The Genius wasn't bothering anybody. You like it, don't you?
All right, Luke. How about that strategy, huh? Now you know who's going to be doing the thinking for the Bushwhackers.
He's just lucky. He's just lucky.
We were mentioning earlier on the footage that you saw most of you this weekend with the Cobra literally gnawing on the arm of Randy Savage who just walked into the ring. Later on, we're going to be showing you the uncensored version of
that particular footage. Let us warn you now, it's extremely graphic. For those of you who are the slightest bit squeamish, you probably would not want to see what we're going to show you.
I think the word you're searching for is pansies.
No, not necessarily. Again, allegedly this was an accident. But the one thing we can be sure of is that Jack Tunney will take action on this matter.
I don't know. He's waiting so long to take action on other matters.
Oh, yes, and I think that perhaps the outpouring of the public cry as to whether or not Randy Savage should be reinstated is taking place right now.
I think Savage should be reinstated. He made his bet. He should lie in it. He said, I'll retire if this and that happens. Hey, pal, you made this statement. Live with it. Be honorable. Show some pride, some courage, some integrity. Kind of people I like to know and run with.
Be honorable.
Yeah.
You know, have integrity.
You know what I mean, yeah.
Let me take you back, if you would, to SummerSlam, Bobby Heenan. You will recall the wedding reception. You will recall Elizabeth opening her gifts. And the Cobra coming out of that box, scaring Elizabeth. Come on, what kind of a man would do that? A sick individual would do that. What kind of a man? Wait a minute. Here, what kind of a man would chase the genius?
He's chasing him all the way back to the dressing room.
That's the kind of man. And when we return, we'll tell you the kind of man that would do the dastardly deeds that were done to Elizabeth. Ring the bell. Blake Beverly awaiting the presence of Luke. Here he comes.
He's got the genius's hat. Where's the genius?
Well, it makes him the genius. It makes him, you think, a little smarter than he was before?
Yeah, could have upped his IQ to 3.
I don't think he needs an IQ.
What good would it do him? Only person who can talk to me, Butch.
We were making reference earlier on to the kind of a man who would ruin a wedding reception just for the sake of ruining it and making a name for himself. That same kind of a man, unquestionably, would take out a King Cobra. I might add, a venomous King Cobra. And allow that King Cobra this weekend to strike Randy Savage in the arm.
Well, McMahon, things happen.
Things happen.
Yep. I mean, you don't invite the guy to the wedding. Probably didn't leave his name at the door. I don't know what happened. Jake the Snake Roberts does things his own way. Always has, always will. And Savage, you're better off where you are, not involved in Survivor Series.
He could very well be involved. He could be reinstated. He's back on his feet despite the venomous snake bite. And again, I don't believe Jake Roberts claiming that was an accident. No, that was no accident.
You call him a liar?
It was not any more of an accident than the incident at the wedding reception. That was no accident either.
So you're calling him a liar then?
I'm saying it was no accident, and I don't think Jack Tunney should accept Jake the Snake's word. Who would trust him? Who would trust him?
Guy's got a 14-foot Cobra in the bag. I'm going to trust him.
And again, Jack Tunney and the World Wrestling Federation refusing this past weekend to allow that graphic footage to be shown in an uncensored variety. It was censored earlier this weekend. However, since we're in prime time, you will see the uncensored version, that entire footage of what actually happened. You judge for yourself whether or not that was an accident. We'll show you that later on.
Coming up tonight, right?
Absolutely. Oh, my. Wait a minute! Nothing is falling apart! Yes! He got it! He got it!
You walked out of Survivor Series. Here is your winner.
Cousin Butch! The Bushwhackers teaming up with the Rockers! They're squared off against the tag team of the Beverlys and the Nasty Boys! Oh, someone's taking a look at it. Let's go back!
Now watch this. One misses a splash off the second rope. Not sure really where he's at. And just by dumb luck, Luke should happen to catch a ball. I think he hooked his sights.
The Macho Man has not been reinstated. However, I'm of the opinion that President Jack Tunney of the World Wrestling Federation come Wednesday night at the Survivor Series will come to his senses so Randy Savage can join my guest at this time, the Big Boss Man.
cents, 79 cents.
Well, I have to leave a tip.
And he's going to be joined by the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, Hawk and Animal.
The Legion of Doom.
Legion of Doom.
They look ready, don't they?
They certainly do. Who will be teaming up with those three, or will it be 3 on 5?
All right, gentlemen, we're down to hours and minutes as we look forward to Thanksgiving Eve. Big Boss Man. Opponents for the three of you as it stands right now, the IRS, the Natural Disasters, and Captain Jake the Snake Roberts.
Well, I want you to take a real good look, because you're looking at three men who believe in law, order, and justice. And every time we step in that ring, we're fighting for every man, woman, and child in this country that believe in law, order, and justice. Just as you saw in that ring, as Earthquake, Typhoon, IRS, and Jake the Snake Roberts, all four tried to jump me, the Animal and Hawk watch my back just as I watch theirs. And without a doubt, whether it be 3 on 3, 3 on 4, 4 on 4, it doesn't matter, because Hawk, Animal, and the Big Boss Man can kick your butt at any given time.
From the Legion of Doom, Animal, your thoughts?
Well, me, Gene, there ain't no doubt in our mind, after the people here in the World Wrestling Federation around the country saw what a man you were, Jake Roberts, letting a 13-foot King Cobra attack Randy Savage. Jack Tunney, you ain't better. Let him be our partner. But if you don't, there ain't nothing better. The Legion of Doom, the Hawk, the Animal, and the Big Boss Man, like they're better than to kick your stinking butt.
All right, as we get down to Wednesday night, Thanksgiving Eve, Hawk, as they say, we're getting down to the real nitty-gritty.
Well, you know, there's an easy way out of everything. Now, for those gentlemen, I think an easy way would be SHC.
Wait a minute. SHC. What does that mean?
Spontaneous human combustion. Because, Gene, it's a lot easier just to self-burn up than it is to get the bile kicked out of your bladder and your bicuspids kicked down your throat.
Bile and bicuspids, goodbye.
You know who should referee this match? Oh, Quincy.
Maybe. We'll be back with our Survivor Series showdown.
They're ready.
On Thanksgiving Eve, it's do or die for Hulk Hogan as he defends the title against The Undertaker. And feast or famine for other WWF superstars in team competition at the Survivor Series.
In a moment, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take you to a special interview involving Jake the Snake Roberts, the Natural Disasters, and IRS. But right now, let's take you to events that happened earlier this weekend involving Jake the Snake Roberts and the Macho Man Randy Savage. Again, we warn you, this is very graphic footage. For those of you who are underage or a bit squeamish, you do not want to see this footage.
The winner of this bout, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Easy, March. Look at me, man. Where are you? See what you're doing. Snake eyes.
Thumbs down for Jake the Snake Roberts.
Reinstate Macho.
What's he doing? At least he's not going for the back. Wait a minute, he's got the microphone in his hand.
Hey, yeah, you with the orange hat up there.
All right, Randy Savage.
Talking about Macho Man. Yeah, you looking at me, don't you look real sweet?
Easy, March.
You know something?
Just ignore the guy.
There was a time in my life that I almost looked up to you. You were the Intercontinental Champion. You were the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion at one time. I almost envied you. But you know what? I'm looking at you, and I'm thinking to myself, here's a man that used to be a real man, but obviously he's grown a little soft, hiding behind the skirt of a woman.
Easy, March. Easy, March.
So I tell you what, Macho Man, why don't you see if you can borrow Piper's skirt?
Now you take it easy, Roddy Piper.
Oh, he's standing up. He's standing up. Well, isn't that something? Boy, you look real good in pink, too, I might tell you that. Yeah, let them make you stop. Don't let them let you go.
Just a closer look.
Come on, Macho Man, there's two things.
Too close. Has to be reinstated.
There are two things, ladies and gentlemen, stopping him from coming in here. One is common sense, and the other is fear. Fear is what he has for me. You are nothing but a gutless, yellow, stinking coward with no sense in the world to step your feet right in here. Now here I am. I'm standing right here waiting on you.
No!
Come on. Come on. Come on, my little man. Come on. Yeah, what's wrong? What's wrong? You're only this close.
He's going for it. He's going. Wait a minute. Jake Roberts with a clothesline. Down goes Randy Savage. Jake out there with the ring. Ramsey face first to the pole. And again. Savage now. Thrown into the ring. Jake Roberts all over Randy Savage. Tying him up in the ropes. Jake Roberts.
Come on, Randy. Come on, Randy. Get out of there.
Randy Savage hoping for reinstatement. Randy Savage hoping to go to the Survivor Series this Wednesday night. He may have blown his opportunities. Jake the Snake Roberts enticing Randy Savage. That's it. What's he doing?
Get out of there, Macho.
Oh no. Jake the Snake Roberts.
Look at that. Look at that.
Roberts with the King Cobra.
Macho. Dude.
That's the creepiest looking snake I've ever seen in my life. He's got it too close to him. Keep it away from it. That snake is put. Wait a minute, the snake is running. Oh, the snake is fighting it. The snake is fighting it. Roddy Piper on his way to get some help. The snake is gnawing on the arm of Randy Savage, who's helpless, tied in the rope. All I can say is that snake better be devenomized. It better be. Jake Roberts. Look at him. Shaking the snake. As the snake digs deeper into the arm of Randy Savage. This is not supposed to happen. Roddy Piper there. Elizabeth. I can't believe she's going to witness this horror. Elizabeth. Jake with a snake, moving everybody back. The snake almost bit Elizabeth and Piper. Jake the snake has lost it. He's lost it. And I don't think that snake has been minimized. Randy Savage with a Somebody get Randy Savage. Get him out of there, for God's sake. For Elizabeth to have to witness this. Roddy Piper and Randy Savage. Yes. Get some help.
Get him on there. Get him the hell out of here.
Oh, no. Complete chaos. Total chaos. Nobody knows what to do. Randy Savage hallucinating. They better get some help for that man.
Hold him down. Hold him tight. Hold him down.
Get some help. Randy Savage is in trouble. Savage is in trouble. I'm telling you now.
Jake Roberts has snapped his
Well, ladies and gentlemen, after seeing that disgusting incident, I am tremendously confident that President Jack Tunney of the World Wrestling Federation will indeed reinstate the Macho Man for this Wednesday night at the Survivor Series to join the Legion of Doom and the Big Boss Man to face Irwin R. Shyster, IRS, Earthquake, Typhoon, the Natural Disasters, and their captain joining us at this time, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Trust me. Trust me. Trust me.
Trust him?
Trust me.
I do.
Trust me.
How can you not trust him? You don't know what he'll do. Probably the most dangerous human being walking the face of the earth. I gotta trust him. Well, I believe he snapped. I don't know that I think he really meant to do what he did. But nonetheless, I think he snapped. He's sick. Got his bag with him.
Jake Roberts, please leave that snake in the bag.
Say it again. Say please one more time. Come on.
Please leave the snake in the bag.
Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Trust me, Okerlund. If it does come out, there will be a reason. You're talking about Jack Tunney reinstating Randy Savage.
Those phone lines are burning
Do
up.
you think for 1 minute that Jack Tunney wants it on his conscience that he's the man that stuck the gun to Randy Savage's head and pulled the trigger? I don't think so. Tunney doesn't want to be faulted for that. And do you think for one moment that Randy Savage, deep down in his heart, really wants to get into the ring with me after what has happened to him?
Not at
No, he doesn't. That's a lie. You see, Randy Savage will stand out here and tell you, I want you, Jake the Snake Roberts. But you're a liar, Randy Savage. You're a gutless liar that hides behind the skirt of a woman.
all. Tell him.
You know and I know Elizabeth wears the pants around your house. Not you. Now, if you do show up at the Survivor Series, then it's not my fault what happens. I mean, after what you've just been through, the miracles of modern medicine may have saved you once. But brother, not everybody has 9 lives, especially you. Now, we talking about legal things. With him being reinstated, I went to the legal man. Let him tell you what he knows.
IRS,
Let me explain something to everyone. I have had this contract reviewed by the finest attorneys in Washington, D.C., and this is a binding contract, one that cannot be changed. That means in Survivor Series, it will be 4-on-3. And a tax cheat like you, boss man, with your cheating ways, can't even get it changed.
He'd know.
Now, that we have the legal part of this thing taken care of, now let's get to the real meat of the situation. That being the Legion of Dummies. You boys might have grew up in a neighborhood where you were big men. But I guess the neighborhood I grew up in just had a lot bigger men.
what about it, Typhoon?
It's like Jake says, they're big men in their neighborhood. But where we come from, we are the neighborhood.
Earthquake?
seem to want some of the natural disasters. Come and get us at Survivor. And you, Randy Savage, you don't want any of Jake Roberts. So, Jake, we're gonna share everybody with you. You'll get a piece of everybody at the Survivor Series.
Gentlemen, let me point out one thing. I have been assured that whether as a participant or just as an onlooker, this Wednesday night, the Macho Man will be at the Survivor Series.
Well, what do you know about that?
First time I heard about that.
Positive.
You'd bet your life on that, wouldn't you? You'd be dead in the morning if you did. Let me tell you this. If he does show up on Thanksgiving Eve, then Elizabeth, he won't be home for Christmas, baby. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me.
Dastardly thing to say. What a dastardly thing to do. Jake the Snake Roberts leading his team into the Survivor Series. We'll have more on the Macho Man's reinstatement when we return. Plus, the $1 million ballot for grabs.
Incredible footage that we saw earlier on with the snake literally gnawing on the arm of Randy Savage. Imagine Elizabeth experiencing that.
Imagine her marrying him. But the important thing I'd like to talk about is coming up real quick. Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, with that bombshell, Sensational Sherry. He's going to regain his $1 Million belt from the thief, Virgil.
You don't seem to be moved by the snake bite.
Didn't bite me.
Snake! 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 Don't do that.
Introducing first the challenger, being accompanied to the ring by his manager,
now look at the bombshell.
Sherry.
Watch her. Take a look at Sensational Sherry. I saw her earlier.
At 260
wow! That's my centerfold.
Ted DiBiase.
Doesn't matter.
Is she something?
She's something. Not too sure what, but she's something.
Madonna's talking about copying her makeup.
Oh, really?
She's beautiful.
In your eyes only.
I saw that movie. Oh, I thought you were talking about something. I lost a lot.
The $1 Million Man wants his championship back, and I don't believe he's going to get it. He has been trying since SummerSlam to no avail. What makes him think that tonight he will regain his $1 million belt?
And
with his money, you never know what he's up to.
There it is.
I think the important thing here is, how do we know those are the diamonds that DiBiase paid for when he had that belt made?
What do you mean by that?
Virgil kind of switched them.
There it is. Virgil, the $1 Million belt.
Like George Foreman on News Assistant.
Virgil accomplishing the impossible back in SummerSlam. And Virgil, of course, this Wednesday night, Thanksgiving Eve, at the pay-per-view spectacular, teaming up with a lot of good friends.
Rowdy Roddy Piper, the captain. Bret the Hitman Hart, Intercontinental Champion. And the British Bulldog. But you know they're going against McMahon?
Go ahead, say it.
The Warlord. The Mountie. The $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. And hold on to your chair. The real heavyweight champion of the world, Ric Flair. And in the corner will be the executive consultant, Mr. Perfect.
Along with, I would suspect, Sensational Sherry. And perhaps Jimmy Hart. And perhaps... who? Well, Harvey. Oh, Hart, remember him?
Harvey Whippleman. A secret weapon. You never know. Trust me. Just keeps you loose. Jake told me that's a good motto to have in life.
Virgil versus the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. You will recall, it was Virgil who was in the employ of Ted DiBiase.
That's
and all of the humiliating things DiBiase put Virgil through.
That's when he had it made. All he had to do was keep his
champion.
Well,
Don't tell me he can't. Great.
That's because Piper put him up to it and installed a little courage in the man and a little intestinal fortitude. But as time goes on, DiBiase taught him everything he knows, right? But he didn't teach him everything DiBiase knows.
Over now, right back in. Nice clean block by Virgil. Coming right back now. Hip toss by Virgil. Ready to go.
You can be the smartest person in the world.
Take down. Hip toss.
You can be the toughest person in the world.
1, 2, 3, yes.
But if you got $1 million, McMahon, you can buy those smart people and those tough people. You can get the job done.
DiBiase has not bought one fan. Here you can't buy the fans.
Money talks and Virgil walks.
Yeah, Virgil's walking all right. He walked into the ring with a championship belt, and he's very likely to walk out of the ring with it as well.
He has been lucky, I'll admit that.
DiBiase, master technician, taking over on Virgil. Clothesline misses. Virgil, small passage, 1, 2, gets him in 3, yes!
What is it, ref?
That's just about as close as you can get. I thought for sure that was a 3 count.
See, that shows DiBiase's experience. He knew where he was. He knew how to kick out. He knew when to kick out.
And he got lucky.
He was lucky, but he still knew what he was doing. Virgil was lucky.
Roddy Piper, captaining the team, headed to the Survivor Series.
Say the real $1 million man and champion.
The Bulldog will join Virgil. And to compete, as you stated earlier on, against Ric Flair, the alleged real world champion of this team, the Mountie, the Warlord, and DiBiase himself, who is unquestionably having his problems at the moment.
And don't forget, it's going to be Hulk Hogan's greatest challenge.
That is for sure. The Hulkster versus The Undertaker. Wait a minute, he's got it. He has the tights. DiBiase has the tights.
That's okay. That's Virgil. You can do that. It doesn't matter how you beat Virgil as long as you beat him. That's the rules.
Bobby Heenan, you have no ethics at all, no morals.
Sure I do. Woman at the bank in Beverly Hills, when I give her my check, she says, "Thank you, Mr. Heenan." That's all that counts.
That's not all that counts, maybe in your book. Standing side headlock by Virgil. DiBiase trying to escape, backing Virgil to the corner. Referee asking for the clean break. Good luck.
Waffle him. Come on. Drive it in there.
Come on, let him out.
Oh, chop. Virgil for the line, no reversal. DiBiase for the rock. Virgil coming in, and unfortunately, DiBiase landing the elbow. Crafty maneuver on the part of the former $1 million champion. To the outside, Virgil. What's he trying to do there? He can't win the match that way.
I think he's sending a message to Virgil.
Championship rule. Oh, come on.
3 points through the uprights. Scratch him. You don't know what Virgil said to her out there.
He didn't say anything.
I think he made some
sense.
Wait
a minute. Being gouged by a high heel. DiBiase going to the outside. Come on, ref, get a hold of that. Get a hold of the match. Maintain some order. We'll be back as the match resumes in the ring.
Get him, Sherry, get him.
We're back in the action. Continuing on the outside. Finally, Virgil thrown back in.
DiBiase knows what he's doing. He can't beat him on the floor. He's got to beat him in that ring. He threw him out there just to give him a little message.
And by the way, championship rules will apply here in this matchup. DiBiase cannot win the belt with a disqualification or with the counter. He has to pin the shoulders of Virgil in order to recapture the $1 million belt. And I don't think he's going to do it.
Well, I'm pretty sure during that break I heard Virgil say, "I'm sorry. Give me my job back. I made a mistake, Mr. DiBiase. Quit kicking me like a dog. Please, please."
Are you sure that wasn't Sherry?
Of course I'm sure.
Virgil now, the clutches are. Oh, look like Virgil's going to go for the ride. Up he goes. Suplex. DiBiase for the cover. Hook
Looks to land, gets it to it, almost a count of 3.
Come on, Raf. A little faster. No choke. Legal side headlock.
Looks like DiBiase's pulling the hair.
By what, his ears?
Well, I kind of looked at it a moment ago.
You could reach up his nostrils with both hands and pull hair.
I don't know about that.
It's like a 2-car garage.
Virgil hanging in there.
He's got some fight left in him.
Virgil, despite being choked down. Virgil back out. Top wrist lock, what's going to happen? Elbow striking. Virgil left to right. He left to the midsection. DiBiase smiling.
Put him to sleep. $1 million dream, Teddy. Slap it on him. And it's all yours.
Ted DiBiase. Oh, come on. Right on the chest. Ted DiBiase wants the $1 million belt back. Ted, 1, 2. Very close.
Sherry's getting mad. And when she gets mad, somebody's going to suffer.
Virgil still hanging on, despite being attacked on the outside by DiBiase. And earlier on, blatantly by Sherry herself.
Don't forget Survivor Series. His partners are Bret Hart, the British Bulldog, and Roddy Piper.
And you can bet no that chicane is going to be going on around ringside. Not with that team.
Thanksgiving Eve, boy, pay-per-view is going to be something.
Incredible. He missed. Well, he missed.
You can sit in the living room or the den and watch this on pay-per-view like Aunt Connie and Aunt Helen and all the other bimbos are making those pies and sweet potatoes and all that other stuff that doesn't taste well.
Virgil connecting.
That's the way to go.
Virgil, a shot to the throat. One upstairs now. To the side of the head. To his left jab. Oh, nice right hand.
Come on, Ted, get on your feet. Shake them cobwebs. You know where you are.
Virgil getting it together. The $1 million champion. Virgil now taking it to the DiBiase. Yes, downstairs. Clothesline. What a house of fire. Virgil is our champion. No question about it. Here he comes.
Virgil's got a new life. Wait, Sabi. Come on, Teddy. Get out. Regroup. Talk to Sherry.
Virgil with DiBiase. Whips it to the back. Moves in now. Wait a minute. Who's that?
Repo Man.
What's he doing there?
Repo Man's going to jump into the ring.
Put that down.
He's repaying the $1 million belt.
He's stealing it. Virgil. Virgil won the repo. Repo. Come on. Oh. No. He's got the belt.
He's got the belt, buddy.
Look at Sherry distracting the official. Come on. No.
I told you that you couldn't keep my belt. Hey, I'm talking to you.
Virgil's out cold. He needs some
You
help
know
down
now,
there.
never mess with the $1 million man. Now you're right back where you were when I found you. Penniless, in a gutter.
You know, people are easier to slap when they're unconscious.
Oh, come on. This is humiliating.
Well, would you like to make a net deposit there, huh?
This is absolutely humiliating. Virgil is still unconscious, not cold. By the repo man who just knocked him out with the belt. The referee didn't see it.
You want to stand there? Right here it is.
Coming down. He can't stand idly by and witness this humiliation.
off. The Hitman and Roddy Piper. There will be no celebration for Flair and company
on pay-per-view.
On Thanksgiving Eve, it's do or die for Hulk Hogan as he defends the title against The Undertaker. And feast or famine for other WWF superstars in team competition at the Survivor Series.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, my guest this week is going to be leading his troops into battle this Wednesday night at the Survivor Series. Joining him, of course, will be the Texas Tornado, the Matador, Tito Santana. Please welcome Captain Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh, no.
And just who will join Hacksaw Jim Duggan as his tag team partner, along with the Texas Tornado and the Matador. Again, how can he pick two people? You can't pick two people. He picks one and picks another, you see? Wise guy. The Anvil, of course, knocked out of action thanks to the Beverly Brothers earlier.
All right, Hacksaw, we know Jim the Anvil Neidhart is out of action for this Wednesday night, and I'm kind of curious who you've got for a replacement.
Wait 1 minute, Mr. Mean Gene. First off, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce someone, a man who helped all Americans stand tall, a man who helped all Americans stand proud, a man who, along with his team, took on the Russians and beat them in the 1980 Winter Olympics in Lake Placid. I want to take this turn to introduce Herb Brooks.
Herb Brooks, among its capacity.
Wait a minute, Hacksaw. Right. Herb Brooks is not going to be your partner this Wednesday night.
No question about it. But I just want to point out what a proud American looked like. Herb Brooks, but also at the Survivor Series, like you said, my partners, the Matador, who will ole everybody and coming behind him, along with the Texas Tornado, who will come down to the ring like a wild wind. And Hacksaw Jim Duggan, you folks know where I stand at, but I had to look hard and long. Yeah, I like that. I like that. But I had to look hard and long to find this man. And I found that man. It's a place that a lot of people wouldn't like to get into, Survivor Series. But I found that man. And I know he's a tough man because I faced him in the ring. So I know what's in his heart. I know what's in his soul. And right now I'm proud to introduce to you our partner in the Survivor Series, Sergeant Slaughter!
What? Sergeant Slaughter, teaming up with Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Well, that's going to make a difference.
You're right at that. You talk about a rugged individual. He won't get any more rugged than that.
Gene, I'd like to take this time not only to welcome Sergeant Slaughter to our team at the Survivor Series, but to make him the honorary flag bearer and carry the flag of the United States of America.
All right, Sergeant, it's going to be Skinner, Colonel Mustafa, Hercules, and the Berserker for you and your team members this Wednesday night at the Survivor Series.
First off, I'd like to say what an honor it is to be standing here next to a great American like Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and to be once again holding Old Glory high and proud. I'd also like to say to Hacksaw Jim Duggan and to you, Mean Gene, that I pledge not only to you two, but to all the fans here, to my friends, my family, and to my country, that it's great to be back, and I think I finally got my country back.
All right, from the sounds of things, Sarge, I've got to agree.
And there's one thing I've been wanting to do for a long time with everybody And that's, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. USA!
Texas Tornado of Matador and Sarge teaming up for the Survivor Series. We'll be back.
This contest is scheduled for one
championship bout right there. And that's not one possessed by the alleged real world champion Ric Flair. That's the one, a semblance of the one that Hulk Hogan will bring into the Survivor Series Thanksgiving Eve this Wednesday and defend it against The Undertaker.
The gravest challenge.
It is definitely the gravest challenge. And what is that nastiness? Why does he bother carrying a cup to the ring? All that spew and garbage and yuck coming out of his mouth. What is that? Swamp? Mud or something or what?
I believe that's called swamp tar.
Swamp tar?
Yeah.
How would you know about swamp tar? What do you know about the swamp?
Mike McGurk told me.
Who?
Never mind.
And Mexico, weighing 240 pounds, El Matador.
You know, I know something, McMahon. As he became the Matador, he's a lot faster than he ever was.
Faster?
Yeah. You get a 2,500-pound cow with horns charge you. That'll pick up your speed.
Far more aggressive. That's what I've noted about Tito Santana tonight. He's far more aggressive than he was before.
What's that he's got in his hand?
That's his hat.
Oh, I thought it was a chihuahua somebody hit on the highway or something. Hogan could use that. He could just super glue that on between that wide part. He'd be in business.
That man looks like he is unimpressed. Unimpressed with life.
You know, those are different people down there that live in the Everglades. I mean, they don't care much about fashion. They don't care much about what's happening in the world. They kind of make their own rules and live by it. This may be the man in front of his door.
Skinner. He is some force to contend with here in the WWF.
You are good. I would like to kiss him.
Matador?
No, Skinner.
Oh, my goodness.
I'd rather kiss a hospital mom.
I imagine you have kissed a few hospital moms in your day, Bobby Heenan.
I beg your pardon.
And there the Gator Claw. Santana warming up and up. A few passes. Santana, one of the longtime favorites here in the WWF. And Skinner trying to leave his mark. Single competition. Skinner joining Hercules, the Berserker, and Colonel Mustafa. Facing the team of Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the Texas Tornado. The Matador in the ring now, and of course, introduced earlier on, Sergeant Slaughter.
What's going to happen when Slaughter looks across that ring and sees Mustafa? A man he stabbed in the back.
I beg your pardon. What? You've been watching too many science fiction films as of late.
That's what Adnan told me. General Adnan said they did everything for this guy. He turned around and stabbed him in his back because he loved his country more than anything else.
Yeah, right. Tito Santana ready to lock up with Skinner. Nice go behind to the hammerlock. Reversal.
You know, he knows his wrestling.
Get back!
You gotta give him credit for that.
Santana, no question about it.
Hey, why don't you shut up,
Skinner knows his wrestling too.
Yes, he does.
What are you gonna do? Huh? You big fat geek! You sit out!
Is he talking to you?
No, I thought he was talking to you.
Skinner having a few choice words from someone about the ringside. He should concentrate on what's going on in the ring.
You're right, Tito Santana, the Matador is more aggressive than ever.
Santana out for the ride, coming off the rope. Nice shot block. Santana pacing himself, and Sting decides to take a little powder here.
Don't get him mad, Santana. You'll be on his wall at home. You never will pin to you. That's still on the back of your skull.
Everyone looking forward to this Wednesday night Thanksgiving Eve, the greatest challenge. Hulk Hogan squaring up against The Undertaker. It could very well be the greatest challenge ever for the Hulkster.
Well, you know,
you claim Hulkamania will be buried.
That's the way I feel. I just have that feeling. You know, Hulk had a hell of a run. He's done a lot for himself. He's done a lot for the World Wrestling Federation. But, I mean, every good thing has to come to an end. And The Undertaker is undefeated. I don't think you can hurt the man. In my estimation, the man's just a big, gigantic, huge creature.
Yeah, creature. I think you got it right. I couldn't believe when both Roddy Piper and the Macho Man tried to level The Undertaker by nailing him with the chairs back in the funeral parlor about a week ago. He didn't even budge The Undertaker.
Never blinked an eye. And Hulk Hogan knows that. It's in the back of his mind. He's thought about all this. Like Ric Flair and I have been saying for so long, he's been making movies, TV shows, kissing sick kids, patting old ladies on the head, doing all kinds of charity work. He's done everything he could instead of watching his wrestling. That's what's going to take him under. The Undertaker's going to take the man out on pay-per-view this Wednesday night.
That remains to be seen.
I know the Hulkamania's people back in the little Hulksters and all this and that. Your best bet is all you people around the country order that pay-per-view and then turn the lights down low, because when Hulkamania's buried and dead, nobody will be able to see your eyes swell up with tears when it's all over.
You find some humor in that?
Yeah.
You actually find humor in that?
Well, you know, I'm a happy guy.
I suppose you find some humor in what happened to Randy Savage as well.
I feel bad for the Snake.
I beg your pardon?
I feel bad for the Snake. Snake bit him. Think about it.
Why would you feel badly for the Snake?
Who knows if that Snake's still with him after biting Savage?
You know, I think sometimes you and Jake have a little something in common. I think you both border on the inhumane.
No. I believe the Bushwhackers should be put to sleep.
What does that have to... Never mind. Tito Santana hanging on this side, a headlock here, grinding it out.
I'm very humane.
Yeah.
I like old people. As long as they're in a home, you can't bother me.
You know, I think maybe you should be quiet for a while. To the outside, the man at all. And Skinner pretty much taking control of things as of late. Foul mouth, Skinner. Very foul mouth. Imagine what his breath smells like. Yes. Santana to the apron. Roddy Piper. Squaring up against the mighty Hercules. Plus, we're going to have a special interview later on with the alleged real world champion, Ted DiBiase, the Warlord, the Mountie, all that coming back up. When we return, we'll have a reception of this match and more. Stay with us. We're back as the Survivor Series showdown continues following this matchup, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to hear from the Hulkster. And I think he's going to have a thing or two to say to The Undertaker. I think he's maybe even to Ric Flair.
Well, good. That'll be nice. But if he's smart, he'll hand the belt right now to The Undertaker and admit that Ric Flair is the better man and ride off into the sunset and save himself a lot of embarrassment and a very, very bad beating.
Skinner. Oh, come on, Ralph. Skinner could care less about the rules. He tries to make his own. Oh, my goodness. Look at that nastiness. Skinner sliding back in. Can you just visualize this man in the swamp? Oh, yeah. I mean, he really looks like he'd be right at home in the swamp, doesn't he?
Dirty, muggy water, insects, alligators, bugs.
This is the last Mexican here.
think so. You won't either. Could dress him up, but he couldn't take him out.
Cuts his own hair.
Santana firing away. Skinner retaliating. This man is ruthless. I can't help but think about the team of Skinner and company. Look at this. Skinner, Hercules, Berserker, Mustafa. I can't see any tag team coordination there.
I can't either. It's just going to be one hell of a fight.
That's just about all it's going to be in that match. Then again, I can see Duggan and Sergeant Slaughter getting it together. And Tito Santana, no question the Matador has seen tag team action before. He knows what it's all about, as well as a Texas Tornado.
It's going to be interesting.
No.
Can you find out how the 900 number's doing? Can you find out about that?
Hang on 1 second. I'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know there's nothing but no's. There are a lot of no's. I know you people have been calling in saying, no, you don't want him reinstated. Fine. Keep doing that. Drive McMahon nuts.
All right, back down. Unfortunately, all we can get at the moment is the fact that the lines are very heavily being used. A lot of calls, and I would suspect that the vast majority of those calls are going to be in the affirmative, voting yes to reinstate Randy Savage. All of these calls, the results, both negative and positive, on Jack Tunney's doorstep tomorrow morning. And hopefully, if in fact it's in the affirmative, hopefully Jack Tunney will make a decision and will in fact reinstate Randy Savage for the Survivor Series. I would think public pressure is unquestionably going to sway Jack Tunney.
Well, Jack Tunney's always, he'll probably make a decision somewhere around Easter.
It's a tough decision to make, I would think.
That's why I should be president. I can make snap decisions.
Wait a minute.
I'm a take charge guy.
You should be president of the WWF?
You agree?
No, I don't agree.
You just said so.
I can't imagine you being president of the Bobby Heenan fan club. I don't know, though. Maybe you can run for president of the United States like David Duke. You may have a shot at it. I don't know.
I've been asked, you know.
You have, huh?
I've been asked.
Been asked for what?
By different people, different organizations to run on an independent ticket.
Independent ticket, huh?
I told them I'm a broadcast journalist, and I just don't have time to get involved in something with people that don't tell the truth.
The only ticket you should have is a one-way ticket out of town.
He's done for.
Oh, I got my ticket to Detroit. And I'm going to be watching Survivor Series.
My family has their ticket to the pay-per-view spectacular Survivor Series. They're going to be watching from home.
Well, I would pack for cable for my people, but we don't get it in our neighborhood.
That's no excuse.
Wait, you want to move the whole family?
You could certainly find somebody in the neighborhood to pick up the Survivor Series.
We don't have it in Beverly Hills.
Yourself up. You what?
We don't have it out there in Beverly Hills.
You have one of those home dishes, huh?
No, I don't have a dish. What, do you think I live on a farm? I pick up trucks on a jack in the front yard, a bunch of chickens and a mangy hound running around?
I don't know, but everyone somehow finding a way to witness the greatest challenge at the Survivor Series this Wednesday night, Thanksgiving Eve. Ooh, yes, elbow striking. Handful of air right back down. Skinner making an awful lot out of this match. I thought this was going to go a lot quicker. Skinner and Santana nip and tuck, back and forth. Skinner so highly unorthodox. Tough to figure out how this man's going to move and why.
But he knows what he's doing. He's always in control, I can tell that.
I'm not so sure he's in control of his faculties. On the top rope, missing. Santana rolling the broad drop kick. Santana again. Ooh, a nice knee lift to the yes. Santana, really a house of fire. And there you have it. The Paso de Muerte.
Salsa, that's what they call it. The posse and the salsa. Something like that. It's close enough.
Is that a Paso
Santana hits him with that El Morte de Salsa.
That's El Paso de Morte. Let me take you now to the interview with the Hulkster that occurred earlier this weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hulk Hogan!
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside, you gotta take a stand, you don't have to hide. If you have my friends, then you have my pride. Gotta be a man, I can't let it slide. I am a real American, fight for the rights of every man. I am a real
All right, Hulk Hogan, this Wednesday night in the Motor City. Of course, it's the Survivor Series. As part of that extravaganza, you are going to be facing your gravest challenge. You're going to be defending the World Wrestling Federation title against The Undertaker. Now, some are saying, not me, that unquestionably, after the Survivor Series and the gravest challenge, Hulkamania will be dead.
Well, let me tell you something, Mean Gene. This Wednesday night, Thanksgiving Eve, yes, Hulk Hogan faces his gravest challenge in The Undertaker. But the thing you gotta realize, Mean Gene, when you're a Hulkamaniac, is for 8 long years, I've heard him say that Hulkamania is dying, that Hulkamania is dead, and Hulkamania still lives, Mean Gene. So right now, Mean Gene, since it is our gravest challenge, I think it's time that I explain to all those little teeny Hulkamaniacs just what the red and the yellow stand for. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no Undertaker, brother. Simply because the yellow of Hulkamania will light up that valley of death. It stands for the belief in the training, the prayers, and the vitamins, and the light of Hulkamania will surely blind the Undertaker. But also, the red of Hulkamania, which guaranteed me immortality, brother. When the big man upstairs spilled his blood on this cross, he swore to me that Hulkamania would never die. That's what the red of immortality is. So now that we know Hulk Hogan will live forever along with Hulkamania, Ric Flair, just like the Grim Reaper, has his sickle to do his dirty work, brother. The Undertaker has you as his henchman, Ric Flair, to do his dirty work. And just like the light of Hulkamania will blind the Undertaker, the light will also blind you, Ric Flair, and you will fall by the wayside, brother. But the thing, Mean Gene, that makes me realize I will survive the Survivor Series is when The Undertaker reached down and tore the crucifix off my neck. My neck went limp, brother, but as I smelt the dead flesh burning in the palm of his hand, the power of Hulkamania that he couldn't handle, he dropped the crucifix, and as it landed on my chest, it warmed my heart, Mean Gene, and it made me realize that I will survive the Survivor Series. So Undertaker, now that you know also what the red and the yellow of Hulkamania mean, what are you gonna do, Undertaker, when Hulk Hogan and the red of immortality run wild on you?
The Hulkster is fired up. He is ready for the Survivor Series this Wednesday night.
Is that how you got it? 75 pounds.
There's no question. What did you get out of it?
I got out of it. He is one scared man. He's looking for outside help now.
And hit the horn.
He's looking for faith. He's looking for someone to help him. He knows it's over, McMahon. You better order your pay-per-view, everybody out there. You're going to witness the end of Hulkamania. He's going to get buried.
I'm not so sure of that. The only thing I'm sure of right now is that Roddy Piper is headed to the ring. And it will be Piper who heads his team of the Hitman, Virgil, the British Bulldog, to lock up with your team, Ric Flair, the captain,
and the Mountie, the $1 Million Man with his back, Ted DiBiase, and that powerful, massive Warlord.
Survivor Series is right down his alley. If ever there was Survivor, you're looking at one right there. Roddy Piper, street smart, man who fights with his wits and his guts.
And wears a mini skirt. Yeah, that makes you tough. Guess you're right.
What the hell you'd look in a kilt?
I wouldn't wear a kilt or a mini skirt.
Little tete-a-tete there with Hercules and Piper.
See, Piper's got more guts sometimes than brains.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with you there.
We've agreed on something.
Yes, we have.
You wrap it up, I'm leaving.
Not yet, you're not.
There's something to do in a little bit. I'll get back to that later. But if Piper uses his head, he'd think, there's no way I can beat the team of Flair, the Mountie, DiBiase, the Warlord.
Why not?
Because all he's got to rely on is the Intercontinental Champion Bret Hart, who is the excellence of execution. Virgil, he's a beaten man, but then again, he might have some incentive to go after him. And the British Bulldog, well, no Randy's ever done anything that made anything important. You know, never won anything important.
Well, you need to apologize for that. You know, I mean, at least you're an equal opportunity offender, but nonetheless, you need to apologize for that. All right? If you don't, to who? I do. I apologize for those dastardly remarks. Oh, my goodness, what a... Whoa! Trading worlds here, and Piper, man, look at Piper go!
That's something. Put big Hercules down.
Roddy Piper with Hercules to the left.
Too short!
Wait a minute. Ooh, elbow. Another one. Piper down.
I'll tell you, Piper's a hard man to keep down. He is tough. I'm not taking that away from him. He's just a loudmouth punk. That's what I don't like about him.
Well, what's going to happen? Roddy Piper gets Ric Flair one-on-one.
Same thing that happened when Flair went up on the podium when you were broadcasting. Flair's going to slap him around and leave him laying on the floor. Any doubt in your mind of that?
Well, there's a lot of doubt in my mind.
Piper didn't want to get up off that floor.
You don't think so?
He was hugging that floor. He tried to crawl under you. You didn't see that.
I didn't see anything. You come back, however, we're going to all be seeing the Survivor Series on pay-per-view this Wednesday night. As Roddy Piper tries to power his way. He'll never make it, I don't think.
What a perfect night for Survivor Series.
Look at this. There we go. Nice maneuver. Very clever on the part of Roddy Piper.
So you couldn't match strength with Hercules, so he had to do that.
He wouldn't try.
Which is good.
Too smart.
It's a good move. I'm not knocking him. Far be it from me to knock anyone.
Yeah, right. Referee asking for the clean break. Hercules lowering the boom there with his shoulder to midsection. Hercules setting Roddy Piper up. Whoa, sunset flip, tries to get him down. Hercules. Hercules having his problems.
I've seen enough of this. I have to go get dressed. I have to put on my $10,000 gold tie because I'm going to go out and join the real World Champion, Ric Flair, the Warlord, Mr. DiBiase, and our executive advisor, and our executive consultant.
You're the advisor.
Let him do both sometimes.
I see.
Mr. Perfect.
In other words, you're leaving now?
Yeah, I'm leaving now. I'm going to make sure my tie is still
As soon as you leave, Bobby Heenan, you know what happens. I mean, the ratings go through the roof. Everyone tunes in. Bobby Heenan is leaving the broadcast booth.
Give me 79 cents. I'm going to make a call, too.
I think maybe you've made enough calls.
I'll be back in a little bit.
Goodbye. See you later. Look at this. Roddy Piper heading away. Oh, what a nice maneuver by Hercules. Roddy Piper was really going to town. Perhaps out of desperation, Hercules hooking the tights. Piper sailing to the ropes. Gallantly back in now. Shoulder block by Roddy Piper. Oh, there. Hooks the ropes. Hercules hanging on. Hanging on in 3 count. Did he get it? No. 1, 2, no. Hercules moving back in. Nip and tuck. What a matchup this has turned out to be. Piper now coming off the rope. Back by Nail. Up kick to the face by Piper. Piper now gets a head of steam. Bulldog down to the canvas. That made it. Cover. 2, 3, yes. Teams up with the Hitman, Virgil, and the British Bulldog. Back to the replay. The Bulldog, Hercules, face first down to the canvas. There, victorious Roddy Piper as we take you down to Mean Gene.
All right, folks, this Wednesday night at the Survivor Series, the British Bulldog, Bret the Hitman Hart, Virgil, and Captain Roddy Piper are going to be facing the foursome comprised of the Mountie. Once again, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, the Warlord, and captain of the team, accompanied at this time by his advisor, Bobby the Brain Heenan, his executive consultant, Mr. Perfect. I'm talking about the self-proclaimed Real World's Champion, Ric Flair.
There he is in all his glory. That's Real World Champion, Ric Flair, with his entourage. Didn't put a tie on that frog, did they?
What do you got to say now, Mean Gene?
Ric Flair, the weeks, the months, it's down to days, hours, and minutes now.
Oh, we know what it's down to. But let's make one thing very clear. When I came here, I surrounded myself with the best, the greatest mind in all of professional sports. Bobby the Brain. And now, the greatest ring technician of all time. And he's given me advice.
You can now refer to him as Mr. Flair's personal executive consultant.
I've heard him called other things, Mr. Perfect.
As everybody knows by now, and all the people know in their minds, Hulkamania is on the downfall.
Goodness.
Well, there are other things to address.
Wait a minute. As I stand here this very minute, this man, this very second, stands alone as the wrestling champion of the world by himself. And it gives me great pleasure to stand here amongst great gentlemen and athletes such as this group of people. It's perfect.
Give me a break. Ted DiBiase, you picked up a little hardware recently.
Survival, Mean Gene. Survival is what it's all about. And that's what you've got standing here on this podium is a whole lot of survivors. And as you can see tonight, just a very short time ago, who survived, Virgil? Right here it is, right back where I said it would be, around my waist, on my shoulder, $1 million worth of gold and diamonds, a survivor. And I'm going to make a prediction that at the Survivor Series coming up this Wednesday, you, Virgil, are going to be the first one to go, and I'm going to put you right back where I promised, on the street and penniless.
You know, in all due respect, Ric Flair, I don't think I've ever seen Rowdy Roddy Piper and company quite want anything quite so bad as they want victory this Wednesday night.
What the